All right, boys, welcome back. Probably one of my last few videos on FC25. It's been a really good year for me, but kind of just wanted to look back on some of my favorite cards I've used this year, kind of do like a top 10 kind of thing. Some of them probably didn't survive. These are just the cards I still have. Maybe some went into SBCs and I forgot about them, but I still have a lot of good cards in my club that are just like I remember having the great times with that carried me to multiple rank 2 finishes. Unfortunately, we never got a rank 1, but we're not pro or anything. It's really hard to go 15-0, but we did a lot of 13 wins for did a lot of good things, but let me go through some of my best honorable mentions real quick. All right, boys. So we got five honorable mentions. First one is Casillas. I begged everyone to do this SBC when he was out. He was one of the best icons for a long time. Goalkeepers, I mean, because he had every single play style as goalkeeping, and then he had two. You could play out of the back with him, and during Team of the Year, he was so cheap. We had so much fodder. I was begging everyone, do him. He's just cracked. And we played a lot of games with him. He was really hard to take out of the squad because I think stats are important, but what's more important is the play styles. And he had every single one. And he was really usable for a really, really long time. And yeah, so he's the honorable mention, my first one. Second one, keeping it during the Team of the Year season, Gareth Bale. One of the best things about this card was his versatility. As you can see, he could play striker, right mid, right wing, left wing. At the time, he was pretty pricey, but at the time, again, it was during Team of the Year. We had so much fodder. He was an easy craft for me to do, and he was a real demon for me. You see his return. What is that? 315 goal contributions in 312 games. And mind you, he's come off the bench after, you get these cards and they're your starters, and then they slowly get pushed to different positions because you get better players, and then they get pushed to the bench, and then they come off the bench. So yeah, another honorable mention. Won't go into too much detail, but he was a demon. I only like to play him on the left. When I played him on the right side, I didn't really get as much out of him, but that was just me. But let's just go to the next one. Another honorable mention was when they gave everybody a Maradona. We went ahead and spent the 500K on him. Another player like Bale, he was real versatile. I think he came after Team of the Year. I'm not sure. I don't really remember, but his return was pretty good too. About 275 and 275 and 284 games played, and same thing. He played a lot on the right for me when I had Bale on the left, and then he got moved to the bench. Another real versatile player, can play multiple positions. The fact that they gave this card to everybody, obviously not everyone spent the 500K, but I did, and I thought he was really worth it, and he was a demon for a long time too. Really good. And then another demon. I know not everyone was able to get this card, but we were one of the few lucky ones. We won enough games in the cup. This card was a demon, really, really strong at the time. The power curve went crazy fast this year, so he did get pushed out, but we were able to get 278 games with him at the right back position, and he was able to play left back too. But we had our left back solidified, but he didn't have the best play styles, but he had that aura, that fear factor, like, oh, this guy's gonna be a demon because he has Mycon, and he was strong. He was just, he's a really good card. If you guys had him, you guys know. If you guys played against him, another honorable mention right there. This was one of my first demon strikers. He came out and he was one of the first cards that had the low driven plus. It was when they did the update to add that playstyle, and he was one of the first ones to get it. And then, it's Didier Drogba. He's always going to be a demon. They gave him really good playstyles, and yeah, he was one of my first demons. As you can see, his return was crazy. It was 242 goals in only 134 games. That was like my first like huge boost in terms of goals and assists per game. He was just crazy, and like I said, he's also came off the bench too. And Drogba, man, this card was deadly during his time. This is like the second to last honorable mention. We got one more. All right, last one is Zinedine Zidane. The fact that I'm adding him in this is mostly because the fact that they gave this card to everybody for free, and he was able to be at 94, so he was really, really at the top tier of the power curve for a long time. And the fact that he was free, he just I'm obviously putting him in the Evo currently, so this isn't the one that we used for a long time, but he was just so clinical. He played cam for me, and that's a good return, man, right there. 545 goal contributions from the cam spot. He was super clinical because they had gave him the 5-star weak foot, and the play styles he had. I kind of like can't go over him because I'm putting him in the Evo, so he's a lot better. But you guys know Zinedine Zidane, last honorable mention, Demon. All right, and then this one at number 10 is Dumfries. But I have two Dumfries, right? I used this Evo for the longest time. Look at this, 896 games played. Um, you'll notice the notice a pattern. Like the games that I played a lot with the players is that's why they're in my top 10. So you add 145 games played with this guy, and it's over 1,000. Um, this was a SBC. This was just a Evo, Evoing him up from a gold card, and he was just an absolute dog for me. Dumfries is one of those really really physical players that was just it's similar to Mycon, but I use Dumfries a lot more this year. It's just that ability to just body people, and he was just so good for me. Really solidified my right back spot for a lot of the years. We either had this one or this one. Um, a lot of my players, that I use a lot stayed in. I form a connection with these players, and I don't want to put them in SBCs. But I'm pretty sure we're missing players that could have made this list. I just don't remember. I don't have the memory for that. But yeah, this card survived getting put into SBCs, and he is number 10, Dumfries. We're gonna combine them, both those versions, because we use them both a lot. And it can't be a top 10 list without the freaking OP Hood. Everyone grinded this card when it came out. I was fortunate enough that I don't grind every single card. I only grind the cards that would, at the time, start on my team. So I had enough fodder to where I was able to finish this card day one. When it came out, it was a long time just crafting SPCs, crafting him particularly. I had a lot of the fodder already, but yeah, he's just and I had a good coin balance too. So the stuff I didn't have, and I was able to finish him day one, which, as you know, he just rose and rose and rose in price as people were getting fodder for him. So I was able to get him, and we did 366 games with him. And you guys know Hullet has that aura. You go against an opponent, you're like, damn, he has Hullet. Not so much now currently, but during the time and during a long time, he was so good. So yeah, number 9 on the list, Hullet SPC. All right, number 8. Mostly he's number 8 because I pulled him really early in the year, and he was a really crack card at the time, and I was able to use him for a long time. Clearly, right? 700 games played. That's pretty cool. It's how it's balanced on 700. We were able to put him in the Evo kind of recently, like probably a month ago, which turned him into more of a beast. But that's base Ginola. Number 7, yeah, number 8, number 8, and his goal contributions is 658. And this is another card that had a lot of versatility to him, and it's Ginola too. He's just that 5/5. He's always good. In the beginning of the game, he's one of the most sought out cards, and we were able to pull his card, and it was like a 3 million coin pull at the time. Right, and he just, he serviced the club for a long time, so that's why he is able to make the top 10 at number 8. At number 7, we got one of my favorite center backs all year. As you can see, 741 games played with a center back. This is a Kim and Jay that I forgot what, I think it was the team of the week that we put into an Evo, and then we put him into the team of the year Evo. You remember you were able to put it to 92. We chose him, which at the time gave him intercept and anticipate, I believe. And yeah, he was just a dog for me all year. He was just, I don't know. It could be, you could put your center back Evo that you did, because I'm pretty sure they were all similar at the end. It was just, how you put them in to get certain play styles and the order and stuff like that. I remember. But yeah, he serviced the club for a long time. This was the team of the year center back Evo that was just demon for everybody, which really solidified at least one of the center back positions for a long time for people, because it was like a big boost to the center back. But yeah, he was a demon for us. One of my favorite center backs all year, him and Jay. And speaking of demon center backs, at number 6, Maldini, another cup card. We were fortunate enough to get enough wins to complete him, and it was just I'm adding him to this list even though we didn't play as many games as other players on the list. It was a noticeable difference in my skill level, just boosted up right after we got this card. He like solidified my defense so solid, like it just felt like nobody can get past him, and I felt it when I played with him. I just felt like I was on demon time with him. Yeah, he was just crazy, crazy defender. And another card that's versatile. You can play him at left back. I didn't really play him at left back. Very rarely I did. Mostly he just played center back for me, and he was a crack card. He came with quick step plus, which none of the center backs really had, so he was real fast. Straight demon, Maldini, number 6. All right, top 5. Number 5, Big Kane. I would put his 95 rated card that I had pulled before him. Obviously, I was using him. I was rotating between him and other strikers like Drogba that made the list. Another, I think he was honorable mention, but like him and the 95 King were demons. And then I was fortunate enough to pull this, and this one was a few that will be. I don't think actually any are really current. This is probably the most current card that I have. But he was an absolute demon. Look at his return. 348 goal contributions in 182 games played. He's been my starter ever since we pulled him. And it's not just this particular card, it's Harry Kane in general. I always perform well. I remember last year one of my favorite cards was Harry Kane. This year one of my favorite cards is Harry Kane. There's just something about Kane. It's just that knowledge that when you shoot the ball it's going to go in. He just always is just that clinical finisher. And this year too just has been an absolute dog for me. The goals, the assist, the ability to pass, the ability to control the ball. It's just Harry Kane's a demon every year. I hope I get him next year too because he's cracked. And at number four, King Henry. We pulled him during Team of the Year. Like everyone else, we were ripping, ripping, ripping. We didn't get nothing the whole time. I was kind of like pissed that it might be another year of no Team of the Years or nothing. But he was like my one and only good pull. And the crazy thing is we pulled him two times. It was weird. Like towards the end of the Team of the Year, we weren't getting nothing. We pulled him, and then we got him again, like right after that, which is crazy. But yeah, he was a crack demon. Imagine getting this card in September and then in a January during Team of the Year. His goal contribution, as you can see, is pretty crazy. That's what 943 goal contributions in 628 games, and we used him a lot as striker. This card was so good. Um, but he did when we got better strikers. His versatility to play on the left kind of helped him out because then he played on the left a lot, and he was just so good at cutting inside and scoring. Five-star weak foot, and yeah, he was the absolute dog for me. Imagine these stats right here, but in January he's still cracked. And he was a really expensive card, and we got him. We were lucky to get him. One of my favorite things about him was the play styles. 12 is the max you can get, and to have that in the attack, this many play styles in January for a long time. His longevity, his ability to play, like I said, striker, good place, good roles, left wing, good roles. So yeah, he was a. That's why he is where he's at. Number four, straight demon, longevity, 628 games played, cracked. Number three is going to be surprise to a lot of people. This was your future star custom Evo, and that's why I have him so high, is because he was customized specifically how I want my left back to play. The ability to obviously defend, right? But the ability to move with the ball, the ability to you were able to pretty much customize his play styles. I'm not sure if these were the original play styles. I'm pretty sure though, because he might have been put in another Evo after that because it says Tots Evo, so I'm pretty sure, right? But another reason why this card was is placed so high is because at the time he was given all those Evos were given icon links, right? Many people went with attacking options and that and your build your own icon pretty much. A lot of people went with attacking. The center back was also a demon, but I think at the time the only spot we really needed upgrading was left back, and his ability to play at left back and move up the pitch with the ball, defend with the ball, and never get tired because I gave him Energizer because I know I use my wing backs a lot to go up and down the pitch. They get tired. So that was one of the things I put in him and the place I was relentless. But 509 games played. Surprising, he's up here. Some people probably wouldn't put, their build your own player this high in their list. But me, I love this card all year. He was a demon. So yeah. And then number two, we got the GOAT. As soon as I seen this SBC come out, was leaked, I knew I had to finish it because how many years are we gonna have left with the GOAT? You know what I mean? He might retire in a couple years, and EA might not give him that love. We don't know if we won't be able to use him until he turns into an icon or stuff like that. So we had to use him. We had to do him, and his return was just crazy. 245 games played, pretty much all at striker. We would bring him off the bench when he kind of got pushed down the power curve, but he was so good that even when we pulled new strikers, we would always find a way. We would always somehow like put him back as a starter because I would be like, oh, Ronaldo would have made that. Ronaldo would have made that. So yeah, he had a little bit of longevity, right? 245 attackers. They kind of get pushed out a lot quicker. I feel like this year the power curve is just crazy. But to have 459 goal contributions in that amount of time, he was like one of my first strikers where it just went crazy. It was like him, Drogba, Kane. That was when I noticed like my striking just took a whole new level where they were just always constantly scoring goals, hat tricks, stuff like that. And as you can tell, right, more goals and even games played. That's how you can tell, you're being a demon with your striker. And yeah, it's the goat, man. CR7. You guys know a lot of people did. I When he came out, that's all you would see in champs. It was Ronaldo every game, and there was a good reason. He was just a straight demon. I did try him first at the left wing, and I didn't like him there. He was, he's a striker. He moves like a striker. Probably because the agility and balance, right? But yeah, I didn't really like him on the wing, but he was a straight dog at the striker position. I love this card. And then right when this card came out, like a week or two later, they dropped a low driven playstyle. I was like, dude, if they would have just waited, he probably would have got it too. But yeah, really didn't have nothing bad to say. He's one of my favorite cards to use all year. Like I said, he's the goat. So yeah, he surprisingly he's not number one though. Number one is my most cap player, Kanate. You guys watch me play live streams. You guys know I focus heavily on the defensive side of the ball. I'm better defensively. I'm good offensively. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like I'm better. I'm good because I'm a defensive mastermind, and this was my most cap center back. This is a gold card. I wish you could see like a lineage of how many evos you put in. They should have that like in details or something, but they don't. But this is a gold card, multiple time Evo. Whenever a really good center back Evo would come out, I'd be like, oh, was my Kanate gonna fit? And yeah, he was a straight dog for us. 1,032 games played, most cap player, and that's my number one player. So yeah, let me know who you guys have in your top players, maybe your best offensive player, best defensive player, or your list. But yeah, that's my list. My FIFA 25 is coming to an end, and I just wanted to make a list of memories of this year, successful year. Let's get it. FC 26 coming out soon.